What's up, Bulldog Nation? It's Josh with the Governors Bulldogs coming to you live on a Saturday morning. Getting ready for this Miami Texas A&M game. We just did an Alabama versus Oklahoma recap video. So now we are on to talking strictly about the Georgia Bulldogs and kind of their playoff outlook, their playoff run, teams that I would like to see Georgia play and get matched up against. So we'll just go ahead and hop right on into it, man. Let's be for real. Tulane is not beating Ole Miss, so I fully expect Georgia to be playing Ole Miss in a rematch game in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans on January 1st. Couple of things about that. Let's talk about Ole Miss first. How is Ole Miss handling what's been going on mentally? Has this Lane Kiffin thing distracted the team and pulled the team apart and made the guys not as close? Or has this Lane Kiffin drama and the hiring of Pete Golding, and everything being up in the air, has that galvanized the team and brought them closer together? That's going to be something that I'm keeping an eye on, because this thing can either rip a team apart or it can make them stronger. So if it made this team stronger and the players have stayed focused and Ole Miss is able to rise to the moment and stay together as a team, as a brotherhood, I think they are a very, very dangerous team for Georgia. Let me be clear. I think that the Ole Miss game, if Ole Miss comes out and plays well and plays together and gets some belief in this Tulane game, I think the Ole Miss game is the hardest game that we're going to play on this side of the bracket. Guys, let's not forget, Georgia won that game in Athens, but man, that thing was up in the air and Georgia was playing from behind the majority of that game. That Ole Miss offense is dangerous. It is very dangerous and can move the ball up and down the field. So if Ole Miss gets hot and Ole Miss has a good day down at the Sugar Bowl, they can give Georgia problems. Yes, Georgia's defense has improved. Yes, Georgia has gotten some pass rush since then. Yes, Georgia scored on every single possession. I'm just telling you, man, this is a one game-by-game season now. Georgia's got to win one game, the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. But same for Ole Miss. All Ole Miss has to do is be better than Georgia for 4 hours on January 1st, and they can upset the Dogs and move on and shock the world in this playoff bracket. And I've said on this channel before, and let me my stance on this: the bye is not an advantage in my opinion. I don't think it's an advantage. No team. Man, that's too much of a coincidence for me. All four teams that got a bye last year lost. All four of them. I think there is something to these other teams being able to play, get back up to game speed. There's a difference between practice speed and game speed and the pressure of a game. I think it's an advantage for Ole Miss that they're going to get to mollywop Tulane at home today and get up to game speed and then come into the Georgia game hot. It's like a confidence booster game going into the Georgia game. And they get to get all the rust knocked off, all the wrinkles worked out before they come and play Georgia. So, and Georgia has looked disastrous, guys. Embarrassingly bad out of byes the last couple of years. I don't know what's going on with that. It didn't used to be that way early in Kirby's career. I don't know what's going on with us looking like trash coming out of byes. But this has been going on for a couple seasons now. So I'm a little bit nervous about it. I'm not going to lie. I think the Ole Miss game is going to be the toughest matchup on our side of the bracket. So Georgia's got to be getting better, man. Georgia has got to be getting after it in practice and getting better. A couple of things for Georgia as well that I've got my eye on. What's going on with the Gabe Harris turf toe thing? How much is that going to affect Gabe? Because he's really come on for us as of late at this part of the season. Another big one. Chauncy Bowens, man, what the hell is going on with Chauncy Bowens? And are we going to get a healthy Chauncy Bowens back this season or not? So far, the answer is no. We haven't seen a big contribution from Chauncy. I know he had the game-winning touchdown in the Florida game and led us to victory in that late in the fourth quarter, but he didn't play for large stretches of that Florida game. Dude, he ain't played large stretches. I can't remember him playing for large stretches of any game going all the way back to the Ole Miss games. The last one I can remember seeing Chauncy be in and out of the lineup consistently. So I don't know, and that's our most explosive back. Listen, I got love for Nate Frazier, love him as a person, love his energy, loves everything. I love everything he gives to Georgia and how hard the kid works. I follow him on YouTube, social media, been doing it for a long time too. Love Nate, but Chauncy is the more explosive, game-breaking back. So I'm of the belief, man, we need a healthy Chauncy Bowens to do what we want to do, the way that we want to do it in this playoff. He just gives you that explosive running back that can make stuff happen and break big runs. And I think Georgia's going to need that. Like, man, I want to win these games comfortably going forward. And I know these are going to be good teams, but Georgia can do it. But to do it, we need Chauncy Bowens. Another one. What the hell's going on with Noah Thomas? Like, we didn't see him in the Georgia Tech game. We didn't see him in the SEC championship game. Like, we need Noah Thomas or Colby Young back. We can't rely on just London Humphreys and Dylan Bell if we want to get to where we want to go in this game. And we got to find ways to get Zach Branch the ball more. I said it in the SEC championship the whole time while I'm watching the game. We have got to find the way to get this guy the ball more. Every time Branch touches the ball, he can take it to the house. We've got to get him the ball in other ways besides these screens behind the line of scrimmage. Have to. Jet sweeps, down the field, pick plays, something. Go route, dude. He's the fastest guy on the field. Why are we not throwing him the ball deep? The coaches know more than I do, so there's got to be a reason. Like, if I can see this and all Bulldog Nation can see this, surely the coaching staff sees. We've got to get number one the ball more going forward. Our best player on offense, we've got to get him the ball more. So that's going to be big too. The health of Georgia going forward in the playoff. Like, I would like to have our best players playing football. The Dontrell Glover and Bo Walker thing, I'm not worried about that. I expect Dontrell Glover to play. If Bo Walker has a good week in practice and can help us, I expect to see him. So that'll all be very interesting for Georgia, the health of the Georgia team. All right, what else do we want to talk about here? Let me be clear on my stance of who I want to play going forward in this playoff. The biggest, baddest, best, and hardest teams. I want to pick them up, knock them down. Like, all we got to do is win 3 games. But I want these 3 games to be against the best teams. So there is no question that Georgia is the best college football team and the best college football program going forward after this season. I want to leave no doubt going forward, man. Like, the amount of times that Georgia has been left out and disrespected by this college football playoff committee, the way things ended against Notre Dame last season. Like, man, me as a Georgia fan, I take all that shit personal. I ain't forgot about none of that. I ain't forgot about being left out in 2018. I didn't forget about being left out after being back-to-back national champions with 3 straight undefeated regular seasons, dropping from number 1 to number 6 and being left out of the playoff in 2023. That is crazy. That is absolute. That ain't happened to nobody else besides Georgia. So while Notre Dame fans are upset and boycotting the playoff, dog, we've been there multiple times as Georgia fans too. You got to win the games that they put in front of you. You got to beat the teams that they put in front of you. Georgia fans, we already know that. We already knew going into the 2023 SEC championship game, you got to beat Alabama to be in. You can't leave it in the hands of the College Football Playoff Committee. Even though all of us already knew we were one of the 4 best teams. We knew if we lost to Bama, we were going to be left out. Sure enough, what happens? We play like shit in Atlanta in the 2023 SEC championship game, end up losing to Alabama by a field goal in the SEC championship as the number 1 team in the country. They drop us from 1 to 6 and take away our chance to three-peat. There's no way anybody can convince me that Georgia wasn't one of the 4 best teams in 2023. That team should have had an opportunity to compete in the playoff and for a national championship. And I would have liked their chances had we been able to get healthy. Bowers and McConkey and all those guys, had we been able to get healthy in 23, I would have liked our chances against Michigan a hell of a lot better than Bama's. I think we were a better team than Bama again. And we get left out because we play like trash, play tight, lose the turnover battle, lose the field position battle against Bama again. And then the whole thing last year, the catastrophe that was last season. I understand that Georgia went 10-2 and won the SEC. But man, last season was not a fun season to watch as a Georgia fan. And there were too many opportunities for the national media to disrespect the Georgia football program last season. And I don't take kindly to any of that shit. Like, yeah, we were down a little bit last year. We still won the SEC. Then we go out and we put out a piss poor performance as a team against Notre Dame and lose to Notre Dame. Lose the special teams. Give up a kick return. Coming out of half. Offense not able to do anything. Receivers dropping balls, dropping wide open balls. Man, that shit don't sit well with me. Absolutely not. So now that Georgia's coming into this thing, 12-1, SEC championships, beat every single team that we played, beat Alabama by 21 points. Man, it's time for the Dogs to turn this shit on and go and get this shit done. Against Ole Miss, against Ohio State, and best believe I want Ohio State because Ohio State's been overrated all season long. They ain't played anybody. Their best win is a Texas team that Georgia mollywopped, absolutely destroyed. I understand it was the first game of the season. I get all that. But Ohio State ain't been tested, ain't played no four-quarter ball games until the Indiana game, ain't had to battle through no injuries or 8 weeks of playing dogs in the SEC week after week. Guys in and out of the lineup, offensive line shuffled in and out all season long. Best wide receiver out, starting safety out, best offensive lineman out like Georgia has. They ain't had to go through none of that. None of that because they play in the soft-ass Big Ten where you can just steamroll sorry-ass teams like Purdue, Illinois, Michigan State, man, and Maryland. Get that shit out of here. That shit don't hold a candle to what Georgia's had to go through this season. Doesn't hold a candle to it. Georgia has been through the trenches, has been through some all-out wars, four-quarter ball games against first-round NFL talent along the lines of scrimmage in every single game. So I'm not scared to play Ohio State. I pray to God every night before I go to bed we get matched up against Ohio State so Georgia can run through their face with that run game and get after Julian Saban's ass because that Ohio State offensive line looked very freaking gettable to me against the Indiana Hoosiers. And I like the Georgia Bulldogs athlete that we got at outside linebacker, inside linebacker, and on our defensive line to go get after his ass a hell of a lot better than Indiana's athletes. So I pray to God we get matched up against Ohio State. I can't wait for that shit. And I hope Georgia beats the absolute hell out of them. Just like we did Alabama. Georgia needs to turn this shit on right here, man. Ole Miss, you already beat them once. We can't come out rusty, timid, off our game. No, none of that. These boys need to be firing on all cylinders, and that run game has got to be going, man. This O-line, I've said since all the way going back to February at the end of last season, this 2025 Georgia Bulldogs football team is going to go as far as the O-line takes us. So the O-line needs to accept that challenge and be moving people off the spot and pushing them back and getting this Georgia run game going. And Gunnar Stockton needs to have three of his best performances going forward. In the Sugar Bowl against Ohio State or Miami or Texas A&M, whoever comes out of that, may the best team win. Pick them up, line them up, let the Dogs knock them down. Beat Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl. Beat Ohio State or Miami or A&M, whoever they want to put in front of us in the next game. And then you just got to be the best team on one day, January 19th, for a national championship game. If the Dogs get hot, and the defense plays the way that they've been playing, and this O-line can move people off the spot, and Georgia can play with some intensity and some confidence in this playoff, Georgia's going to go win this thing. But we can't take any steps back. We can't see a Georgia Tech type performance, an Auburn first half type performance. Those days have got to be behind us. It's time for these Dogs to turn it on and go get this shit done. And I want to get this shit done against Ole Miss, Ohio State, and Alabama. Because I just want this one to mean more, man. Any sign, semblance of disrespect that Georgia's had to tolerate since that game, I want that shit to get straightened out in this playoff. That way, there's no doubt Kirby Smart is still the best coach in college football, and the best program in college football is right here in Athens, Georgia, in Sanford Stadium, and my Georgia Bulldogs. So I'm not ducking any game against any team or any program. I want the best of the best. And I want the Dogs to go out there and handle business and get this national championship, man. I love this team. I've loved watching them. I've loved watching them grow up. I love the run game. I love that we stopped the run. I love Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar Stockton is such a better quarterback than Carson Beck. We're not even in the same galaxy. Gunnar Stockton has been so much better for Georgia this season than Carson Beck was last season. Man, it's not even close. It's not even close. Look at how his teammates respond to him is all you need to know. And then look at how guys responded to Carson Beck last season. There's no comparison who the better quarterback is for this Georgia Bulldogs program. And the Gunnar Stockton disrespect from day one. Arch Manning never accomplished shit last season. Yet they put him on this pedestal. The national media puts him on this pedestal. #1 draft pick. Heisman Trophy winner. If Arch Manning would have done what Gunnar Stockton had done this year, dog, he'd be on the cover of Time magazine. Straight up. Gunnar ain't got none of that. None of them accolades. None of that recognition. And that's fine. Because the Georgia fans know Gunnar's a dog. The Georgia fans know and when it matters most in the fourth quarter against the best teams with the game on the line, Gunnar Stockton has had Heisman moments. Gunnar Stockton has been at his best in the fourth quarter when it matters the most. So I think this team can go do it, man. I think this quarterback can go do it. I think my coach can go do this, man. Absolute. Come on, Kirby. Come on, dogs. Turn this shit on and get hot. And let's go kick some ass in this playoff, man. I'm fired up. I'm going to get off of here and go watch this Miami, Texas A&M game. I want the best of the best in this playoff, guys. Pick them up, line them up, let the Dogs knock them down. Let's go. Go Dogs.